Stop what you're doing and look at the screen. Because the price you pay at the pump tomorrow, and the safety of our allies tonight, hangs on a single, fragile thread in the Middle East. President Trump calls it a total victory, but the Pentagon is warning that the storm is far from over. Is this the peace we were promised, or are we just seconds away from Operation Stone Age? The main news continuous. Good evening. We begin tonight with the Middle East standing on a razor's edge. It has been exactly 5 days since the historic April 7th ceasefire officially took effect, halting what many feared was the beginning of an uncontrollable regional war. While the heavy bombardment of the past 2 months has ceased, the diplomatic landscape remains just as volatile as the battlefields it replaced. President Donald Trump has wasted no time in hailing this ceasefire as a total victory for his administration. Speaking from the White House, the president credited his maximum pressure 2.0 inches campaign for forcing Tehran to the negotiating table. The centerpiece of this victory is the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, a vital artery for the world's oil supply that had been paralyzed by naval skirmishes and drone strikes. But while the White House celebrates, the Pentagon remains on high alert. Intelligence officials warn that while Iranian ballistic missiles are no longer launched at Israeli cities, the underlying tension is far from resolved. As one senior defense official put it, "We have stopped the rain of fire, but the storm clouds have not cleared." For the American public, the true impact of this conflict hasn't just been seen in headlines, but at the gas pump. At the height of the hostilities in mid-March, global oil prices surged to a terrifying $155 per barrel. This spike followed a series of sophisticated Iranian drone attacks on major petrochemical facilities in the Gulf. In response, the Trump administration activated the Energy Emergency Act, an aggressive move to insulate the American economy. By fast-tracking permits and ramping up domestic output to a record 14.5 million barrels per day, the administration has managed to bring some relief to U.S. consumers. National gas price averages, which peaked near $6 just weeks ago, have now retreated to $4.15. It is a stabilization that is being closely watched by every household across the country. However, the ceasefire is being tested by a two-front strategy in Jerusalem. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has made it clear that while Israel respects the halt in direct hostilities with Tehran, the agreement does not apply to Operation Roaring Lion, Israel's ongoing campaign against Hezbollah in Lebanon. In the last 48 hours, the Israeli Air Force has continued precision strikes across the Bekaa Valley, targeting advanced missile silos and Iranian-supplied assets. This has created a massive diplomatic rift, with Tehran accusing Washington of failing to control its closest ally. As we look toward the next 72 hours, the stakes couldn't be higher. The world is watching to see if Tehran will resume uranium enrichment or if Hezbollah will launch a retaliatory strike that could shatter this fragile truce. If the ceasefire collapses, the White House has already signaled its next move, Operation Stone Age, a plan for devastating strikes that President Trump has promised would end the threat once and for all. In Washington, the political divide is widening as the 2026 midterm elections approach. Republicans are framing this as a triumph of peace through strength, while Democrats are calling for a full investigation into the intelligence that led to the initial escalation. For now, the world waits and breathes a cautious sigh of relief. The fire has been contained, but the embers are still glowing. From our Global News Bureau, I'm reporting on a situation that remains fluid and dangerous. Stay tuned for further updates.